How's it going? It's LBThaRealist with Surrealistic Studios again. Coming at you with the next story. And that's going to be in regards to Standing Rock. Earlier this week, I did a story about how, I guess, Wednesday, the governor of North Dakota, Doug Bergum, had issued an emergency evacuation order of the Oceti Sakowin tribe protest camp area for fear of ecological disaster, saying basically that if they didn't leave, that there was going to be a bunch of trash and debris that was going to be flowing and over flooding the river. So everyone had to evacuate. They're going over there and kicking everybody out. Well, seems as though they're not fucking playing, all right? They're actually kicking people the fuck out of there by gunpoint. Oh yeah. So multiple sources are reporting that they've arrested about 40 people. They were making a last stand there at Standing Rock. By a few of those by gunpoint. All for fear of debris overflooding the river. So I just think that it's so funny that you're so concerned with the river being polluted. It's funny. It's really funny, but it's not funny. You know, just the levels of manipulation and the games that they want to play in regards to this whole situation. That's literally what they're there fighting for. The protection of the water. You know, and you're evacuating them by gunpoint for fear of pollution of the water? That's insane. Wow, I can't believe, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I actually can believe it, you know. And most of the people had cleared out already. But there, like I said, there was a few people still there. Chase Iron Eyes, one of the water protectors, one of the main water protectors there on site there, had reported that about 40 people or so have been arrested for a final last stand. So big ups to the water protectors, man. Big ups to the warriors out there putting in work, going through all that horrible weather. You know, they're really, you know, and the veterans as well. The veterans out there putting it down for everyone. They're really, you know, taking the heat for everyone. And when I mean taking the heat, I mean they're putting their bodies on the front lines for our water, for our rights, you know, for the continuation of our species. Because right now, most of us are too scared to even move an inch. But they're out there on the front lines. They actually have a call to action. I did another video recently about how they're doing a call to action. They're going to be going to Washington, D.C. I believe they're going to start making a trip March 6th or 7th. But they're actually going to have a big protest, I believe, on the 10th, March 10th. So if you guys can make it out there to Washington, D.C. for that, that would be awesome. I wish I could make it. If somebody's in San Diego, California, you get a hold of me. If you're going out there, March, I may or may not be available. Actually, might have the time off. So yeah, let me know. But they are going to be having protests all across the U.S. as well. It's not just going to be in Washington, D.C. It's going to be all across the U.S. But that's going to be where the main focus of it is. So they're asking if you can make it out to Washington, D.C., that you just protest in your relative areas or communities and cities. But yeah, so they cleared out the rest of them over there. About 40 people were arrested. They didn't have too much of an issue from what I hear, but they still got the legal battle going on as well. So I mean, I guess you need something on paper, right? You know, but basically they plan to have this pipeline done soon. I mean, it's not looking good. I mean, again, it's only one pipeline out of however many pipelines that they're doing. They're doing a lot of pipelines. They're doing a lot of pipelines. This isn't the only pipeline that's going on in America. This is just one of the main focused ones. And this is one that's directly going through the indigenous people's lands, desecrating their burial grounds, and also having the most likely potential to pollute the drinking water of millions of people. And they're going to continue to do this until we continue to make stands. We have to let them know they can't do this. We have to continue to divest. If you bank with Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citibank, or any one of those big banks from these big corporations, they're all invested in this pipeline and probably all of these pipelines. So divest. Go to these credit unions. It's better to go to a credit union. I'm with the credit union. It's better to be with the credit union. They take care of you more. The APRs are way low. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, trust me, I went from paying like 27% to like, what they got me paying now? I went from paying like 27% to like 7%. Literally from switching, from refinancing my loan through a credit union. Get with a credit union. Divest from these large corporations. That's the only thing they understand is money. That's the only thing they understand is money and violence. You can't do violence. We ain't gonna win with violence. Nobody ever wins with violence, but we can win with divestments, and we can win with we can win with basically not investing in these corporations that are fucking us. But we all have to stand together on this. We all have to come together on this one and really make it a collective effort. You know what I'm saying? It has to really hit them in the pockets where it hurts. So again, big ups to the water protectors out there, taking a fight to Washington, D.C., taking a fight right to their front door. So stay tuned for the news on that one. If you can, protest in your area. I will be protesting in my area around that time. And keep fighting, y'all. Until next story.